What's up YouTube, this is Harvey1997 bringing an Ignite deck profile. So I have two different versions of Ignites. There is the Synchro version and then there's this. So I'll be showing off this one. This is more of a turbo, just like spam the board, as many Ignites as you can. So well, let's just get started with it. Let's see how we go. We're running 3 Templar, 3 Paladin, 3 Cavalier, 3 Margrave, let's see here, 3 Gallant, 3 Veteran, 3 Crusader, and 3 Squire. Now it may seem simple-minded to play 3 of every Ignite Pendulum monster, but it makes every hand, or virtually every hand, playable when more than half of your cards are consistency and combo pieces. Very nice. Squire typically doesn't see a whole lot of action. He's probably the most useless, I guess. Veteran is and Squire, they're both just kind of there for walls, but you can make seize plays with them, and they're very good in the scale still. So, and they're actually both high scales too. So they're both good to search out for a high scale. Then the only effect monster we're playing in the deck is one Rescue Rabbt. I don't really see a need for much more. I've been toying with Kieran and Archwing Eccentric. I have 2 Kierans in my other build. I am citing the Eccentrics, but they're not in the main deck, so we're not going over them. Spells: 1 Dragon's Mirror, 2 Ignition Phoenix, 1 Rhoda, 3 Summoner's Art. You can't really play any less of Rhoda and Summoner's Art, there's no reason to. 1 Upstart, again this is a turbo consistency thing. Soul Charged Master Big Plays. Triple MST, because this deck doesn't really like back row at all. Especially anti-spell. I originally did have Archwing Eccentrics over these, but my locals, I have a couple of people that main anti-spell, so I wound up using these instead. And finally, for the traps, have 1 Solemn Warning. Warning's good. And 2 Tyrant's Throes. Okay, on to the extra deck. Now, as I said, this is an Xyz race version, so playing the rank 3s, number 47 and Ghostrick Alucard. If I had Grampulse, I'd probably put it in over Alucard. It is helpful sometimes to pop a face-down monster, but anymore it doesn't come up as often. So, if you have Grampulse, you could probably switch it out for Alucard or something else in here, and it wouldn't really make too much of a deal. 47, I'd definitely say keep that in though, because it helps too much with being able to randomly attack for game when your opponent least expect it. Rank 4s have 86, Excalibur, Castel, Dweller, and Cowboy. There are none of these I think are able to be cut. Things you could add in. If you have 39 and S39, you can put those in and you can find the space. I couldn't. I mean, you do you, but I don't think the deck really needs it too much because we already have access to Excalibur for hitting over big things, and we also have access to 86 to prevent special summoning. I think S39's job is pretty much covered by 86 in this deck. So, we will get back to 86. Running for the rank 5s, just 1 Shark Fortress. The level 5s in this deck are actually not that bad on the field. Specifically Cavalier. I like having Cavalier in the monster zone. It's the strongest of the attack point, or it's strongest in attack points of all the main deck Ignites, unless you're running Stinger or Lancer. No, it's Lancer and Champion. I get their names confused. I believe it's Lancer and Champion. But the new card for them isn't out yet, so there's no real reason to run those. So for the moment, Cavalier can stay on the board long enough that we usually only make rank 5s with like Margrave. But Shark Fortress with Margrave and occasionally Cavalier, it makes OTKs. Rank 6s, playing 1 Photon Strike Bounzer and 1 Hazy Flame Basiltrice. This card is so underrated, so good. Helps a lot because its effect does not destroy and banish, it is simply banish. So it's crazy. It does target, but nonetheless. Then we're finally playing, for the rest of the rank 5s, we are playing Umber Horror Masquerade and Silent Honor Dark. You typically will need Cavalier to go into one of these, but now the play with these is with 86 and Xyz Barian Hope. You basically summon one of these, and this deck does like to go second typically, to make this after your opponent already has a board. But it can go first. Tyrant's Throes is mainly in here, so you still have a good first turn play. But yeah, you typically want to go second, so you can make the play where first you Pendulum summon, you get out 86, or you get 2 level 4s along with at least 2 level 5s. Summon 86, pop your scales to add another level 5, tribute him. Then you overlay all your level 5s to make either one of these. It doesn't really matter which. If you're able to make him and destroy a back row, by all means do it. Then overlay in the Barian Hope, and you'll have 5 materials on him. Or you can make this with 3 materials, take an opponent's special summon monster, then overlay in the Barian Hope, and again, it will have 5 materials on it, thus giving you all of the pros of 86 without the con of having to detach a material, and it'll also have 5,000 attack, plus the 1,500 that Rangaminiad would give him. So it would actually be at 6,500. And finally, we have First of the Dragons for Dragon's Mirror. With so many decks not maining Raigeki anymore, it's just very easy to get First of the Dragons and just kind of sit on it. You don't necessarily want to be too aggressive with it because a lot more decks are now running Drowning Mirror Force. But it's basically invincible to monsters until Blue Eyes becomes a lot more popular. Blue Eyes White Dragon can run this over because it's a normal monster, but that's about it. Other changes you could make, if you feel like running Gem Knight Pearl in the extra deck, you can, mainly for when you're under Tyrant's Throes. I've never had it come up where I needed Pearl though, because basically if I had the option to make it, I was probably winning anyway, because when you're under Throes, if your opponent summons something big, then instead of trying to out it, you should probably, instead of trying to out it right away, you probably just want to Pendulum as many monsters on your boards as you can, and just every turn you'll have 5 monsters. Your opponent won't be able to touch you. And then once you finally realize what play you can make, or you have enough cards to make your play, they mess up or something, then you do stuff. But that's it, guys. That's my deck profile for a more Xyz, turbo spam version of Ignites, RIP chicken game, and all the consistency it gave this thing with terraforming engine as well. But this is essentially what it's became now. So give it a like, or hit the like button, subscribe, comment, do what you will. See you in my next video.